Welcome to Great Day, 6th day of August. It's a Tuesday, and you know who shows up around here on Tuesdays? It's Ron the Car Guy. And just want to make sure you know about Ron the Car Guy's new place where you can ask him questions. AskRonTheCarGuy.com.
AskRonTheCarGuy.com.
And it's going well.
It is. We don't get questions every day, but I get questions every week. And I kind of got loaded up over the weekend. I had several come in, so I picked out 3 that I thought were relevant and could help people.
All right, let's take a look at our first one.
All right, the first one came from Lou Miller of West Des Moines.
Great first name.
Yeah, I don't know, who names their kid Lou?
I know of at least 2 people.
Anyway, Lou's question was, it says, it seems like my wheels are making a squeaking noise that goes away when I apply the brakes. I also notice it when I turn.
Okay.
And what you're experiencing, Lou, is not uncommon. It's actually a brake problem. Oftentimes people think it's not a brake problem because it goes away when they apply the brake
on.
Exactly. But brake pads are designed with a metal wear indicator. So when the brake pad wears down, no, Jason, it's not a cell phone. But when the brake pad wears down, right here is the metal wear indicator. And what happens is when the material on the brake pad wears down and that metal indicator here gets close, it'll start rubbing on the brake rotor. And it'll make a loud screeching
metal
noise.
on metal.
Exactly. To let you know, hey.
That's what I've been hearing.
Exactly, yeah. But it don't last forever.
Right 2 years.
For the last 2 years.
So what happens is as that's rubbing the brake rotor, as you're going down the road, it's making that screeching noise, or if you turn a corner, things shift a little bit, it'll make the noise. When you apply the brakes, it pushes the brake pad in, so that indicator goes away from the brake rotor, and of course the noise goes away. So what's happening with Lou is his brakes are telling him, hey, I need some attention. I'm getting wore out. It's time to replace me. The important part is once you start hearing that noise, make an appointment and get it done. Because at that point, it's going to cost you the least amount of money. If you wait until the wear indicator wears out and it gets into the metal backing plate, then you start grinding up rotors and damaging other components.
Now, with the thing squeaking like it's happening now with his vehicle, will he have to have the rotors turned to get them smooth again?
You really should turn the rotors anytime, or resurface, remachine the rotors anytime you do brakes, because it gives it a fresh surface and the new brakes will last longer. But it's a lot less expensive to resurface a rotor than to put brand new rotors on a vehicle. So I recommend resurfacing them anytime, but it's the least expensive point to change your brakes when the wear indicator is rubbing, as opposed to when it quits squeaking and starts grinding. Then the wallet's just open. Sparks. Exactly. So anyway, that should answer Lou's question.
Okay.
And Lou, thanks for writing in to AskRonTheCarGuy.com.
Okay. Now we have one from Casey.
We do. We've got one from Casey Grimm of Urbandale, and Casey wrote in, I have an Audi A6.
Cool.
And they are a cool car.
Yeah.
And the power steering had a leak, and Casey had it fixed last month, but ever since Casey has got the car back, it turns hard to the left. And no one seems to know why. And I'm making the assumption that it didn't turn hard to the left before.
Yeah.
Exactly. And Casey, what I'm seeing here, or what I suspect, is a problem with the actual fluid. Audi is very temperamental with the type of power steering fluid that's in there. They've got a special fluid that should be used in their vehicles. And even some of the aftermarket fluid that you buy that says Audi approved doesn't always work properly. And we've run into this.
Really?
Yeah, at our shop where we've fixed power steering systems and they don't turn right, or they shudder, they have issues. And the ultimate fix is to flush out the system, change the fluid, put factory type power steering
brand.
Exactly. Spend the few extra dollars, a quart or a liter. And then there's also a specific bleeding procedure to get the air out of the system, because if you go way back or back into earlier around the Car Guy career time, everything that held fluid under the hood of a car sat up kind of high, and the engine and all the components were low. Well, now we've got cars with these low sloping hoods, just like the A6 and a lot of other vehicles, and so the containers that hold the fluids sit lower. Sometimes they sit below components in the system, and
so they're not self-bleeding.
They aren't. It's really hard to get the air out of them, and there is a specific procedure as to how to do that. But it would be my opinion that if Casey switched over to a factory fluid, had the air properly bled out of there, the problem would just go away.
I never heard of that before.
I haven't either.
So, and it's unique to Audi and Volkswagen. They run at different pressures, so they require different fluids.
Crazy Germans.
I didn't know cars bled.
And we have one final one from Carla.
I'm not going to touch that.
No, go ahead.
Carla Prime of Des Moines wrote in. Carla's got a 2007 Toyota, and the low tire light keeps coming on. Carla says that she's checked all the tires, and none of them are low. What's going on?
I'm going to guess. Didn't reset the sensor.
That is a possibility.
Okay.
Next week we'll have Jason in the car.
What you need is some duct tape.
He's just learned so much from you, Ron. He's ready to take it in.
Yeah, if it moves and shouldn't, it needs duct tape. If it should move and doesn't, it needs WD-40.
See, they're on the same page.
Exactly. That's why I fit in here. No, and what Carla's referring to is the tire pressure monitoring system, the low tire pressure light. And there's two possibilities here that come to mind, Carla. Oftentimes on Toyota, they will put a tire pressure sensor in the spare tire.
Oh, really?
And we all forget about that. And so the low tire light comes on, and we get out, we check all 4 tires in the car, and we're like, well, none of them are low.
It doesn't tell you which one.
No, correct.
Okay, it's just a low. I have that on my car. It doesn't tell you what tire.
Exactly.
But Chick's car will tell you which tire is low. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. And we can, on the cars that don't tell you which one, we can go in with our test equipment and tell which one. But yeah, so you check all 4, and you're like, well, none of them are low. And you try resetting the light, or you just drive around and stare at it, or you put some tape over it or something, and it's actually the spare tire.
Wow, I never thought of that.
So not all manufacturers, but some manufacturers put one in the spare tire. So, and I think it's a great idea to have one in the spare tire, because how many people have gone to use a spare tire and what? It's flat.
Yeah.
So that would be the first thing that I would check, Carla, is to see if the spare tire is properly inflated, and see if that makes the light go off. If not, she probably has a problem. This is a sensor that's in each of the wheels. This is the actual sensor for the tire pressure. And what's interesting about these is the sensors, just kind of hang out in the tire, and they sense the pressure, but they don't send a signal until the wheel starts to turn. And then when the wheel starts to turn, the
centrifugal?
Yeah, and the car guy term is it excites the sensor. So when the wheel starts to turn, the sensor senses that, and it starts throwing out a radio frequency that the computer will grab, and it'll read the tire pressure. In order to do that, there's no wires or electrical connection here. In order to do that, the sensor has a battery in it. And that battery is what creates that signal that it throws out via radio wave. The battery's non-serviceable, it can't be replaced, but like any other battery out there, they wear out.
Sure.
After how long?
The life of a battery in a tire pressure monitoring sensor is usually about 5 to 6 years.
Oh, so you'd think it'd be long enough.
Yeah, exactly. So if we look at Carla, she has a 2007 Toyota.
That's about time.
Yeah, she might have a battery going bad in one of the sensors. Okay. So if it isn't the spare tire that's low, have someone go in with some diagnostic equipment, figure out which sensor or which wheel's telling you it's low, and then they can test the sensor and see if the battery's weak. If it is, it's just as simple as replacing that sensor.
Okay.
Sometimes due to the cost of the sensors, you think about it, all 4 or all 5 are the same age. Should I replace all of them because of the battery? But some of these sensors can be kind of expensive. It'd be my opinion, if there's only one that has a weak battery in it, I'd probably just replace the one.
Okay. A lot of
really
cool stuff here
interesting,
today, Ron.
Well, thank you.
Good job.
Good.
This is
Thank you.
you always
And
learn
actually,
something.
it isn't thank me. It's thank the people that go to AskRonTheCarGuy.com and ask questions.
All right, Westside Auto Pros. Where is it located again?
You know what? We're in Clive. We're just off of Swanson Boulevard. We're actually just east of Seven Flags Fitness Center. You can just go to our website, westsideautopros.com, or AskRonTheCarGuy.com.
There you go. Good job, man.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ron.